as we get to the end of the calendar year, it's only natural that we're going to think about all the things that have happened over the previous 365 days. I do the exact same thing as a pastor in this church. I think about what has our church done? What are the things that we could have done better? What are the things that we're going to do moving forward? This is kind of a very natural thing, but I think it's important for all of us to do, not just the pastor, not just church leaders, because the reality is that religion is not something that is called to be fostered by just a church organization or 501c3. It's something that is called to be a part of your life. It is actually imperative to how we express our faith in Christ to the world around us. This is very scriptural, by the way. This is not just some kind of church doctrine or something like that. I know that a lot of people have different ideas on, what they think about organized religion and all that. And I've even heard some of the very popular sayings or watched some of the videos out there where people say, I love God, but I hate religion. But the reality is that religion is actually a part of it. And when it works correctly, it's something that is beautiful because it is something that is God ordained. Now, let me explain to you what is actually the centerpiece of this religion, something that James makes very, very clear. He says that pure and undefiled religion is this, that we care after our widows and orphans and that we foster an undefiled life. And when you look at that calling to say you help others and you try to mature in your faith, that's something that is actually a very simple way of looking at religion. All of the other things are accessories that we use to help us get to a place where we could do those two things better. Everything else is just an optional add-on or a program or an amenity. So that being said, if we're going to sit here and say, we're a different church, we're not like traditional churches, then okay, fine, put up or shut up. What are we doing to do those two things? To foster spiritual maturity and to be love and compassion to those around us. Now, we can talk a lot about what we're doing for spiritual maturity. Obviously, we have a lesson right here. We have multiple Bible studies taking place. We do different little, things throughout the year, Bible reading challenges and all that kind of stuff. So, we have a lot that we'll get into over the next 365 days when it comes to spiritual maturity. But today, what I want to focus on is that idea of compassion, that idea of assisting the needy. This is something that many of us actually participated in here over the Christmas season, either individually or something that our church helped facilitate within our community, which is a bunch of kids, 75 kids, 38 families, being able to have a Christmas morning who otherwise would not have had a Christmas morning. And that's something that intuitively makes you feel good and warm and fuzzy inside because you're helping little kids, right? But I guess what I would say is, how much more are we willing or less willing to help out somebody when it's not some adorable little Norman Rockwell Christmas painting? How much are we willing to help out the bum on the side of the street? How much are we willing to help out the individual who, for whatever reason, just doesn't seem like they can get their life squared away and they're going to get kicked out of their apartment? How do we help out those individuals that are less desirables? And that is where it starts becoming a little bit more murky, because a lot of people have a lot of ideas on what it means to be rational and reasonable in those kind of situations. When we look in the scriptures, we can see examples of what God tells us when it comes to charity. We can see in Deuteronomy early on when God tells everybody, if there's somebody amongst you who's poor, then help them out. It says, don't regard the fact that, there are these different dates when, maybe if you lend something to somebody, it may be forgiven and all that. So maybe you won't get back what you're owed. Like, don't be tight-fisted is the message. Don't be tight-fisted with what you have. Be generous, be giving, let it overflow out of you. You end up seeing Christ himself kind of echo these exact same sentiments, in Luke when he says that we need to give without regard for whether we're going to get back or not. That should play no part of it. And I think so often it's exactly what Christians do is, especially churches will do this, where they'll sit here and they'll give to something, but only if they know they can get that real good Instagram post, or only if they know it's going to look really, really good and maybe not suffer some kind of image hit if they help out the wrong person. You can see more instances, across the Bible, in some that you'll sit here and you'll go through in what I call three don'ts and a do of being generous. But the message I want you to take away from this is that The idea of being generous and giving, the idea of not regarding things as your possessions is really a fundamental aspect of what it means to have a Christian faith. Because after all, if you serve a God that you say controls everything, does everything, and through which I have everything, and that is the God of your life, then why are you going to be tight-fisted with anything that God has blessed you with? Because after all, it didn't come from you in the first place. Next, what I have for you is a compilation of a couple different clips and resources that I found online. So there might be a little bit more in terms of length here, but I want you to take a look at this because this is something that some of you may have already seen on TikTok or Reels or whatever it is that you browse, where an individual actually conducted a social experiment of sorts, calling a bunch of different churches and then saying, I'm a mother who needs formula. Can you help me out with formula? She made it very clear she wasn't just looking for money or anything like that. But it's interesting because look at the different reactions that these churches had. And what I want you to pay attention to specifically in these clips is not just to look at these and wag your fingers and go, tut, 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 look at that bad church right there. But I want you to look at how those churches process the situation. You know, how they either try to regulate or how they try to reason or how they try to pass the buck in these different situations where God had presented them, as far as they knew, with some kind of need that they could help support.
So I am calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a starving baby. So right now I'm about to call St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Atlanta, Georgia. And it just says that they worship and serve God together, pretty much.
St. Luke's Episcopal Church.
Hey, I was wanting to see if y'all could help with baby formula at all. I have a 2-month-old and we've been out of formula since last night and been calling everywhere today. And she is just screaming, crying, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can to get her formula.
Okay, I don't know, so hold on just a sec.
Okay.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you...
That's cold-blooded.
Okay. Call back.
St. Luke's Episcopal Church.
Hey, I just called. You transferred me, but it went straight to voicemail to somebody.
Did you leave your name and number?
Okay.
Did you?
No, I didn't know if you meant to send me to somebody that wasn't there.
Nope. Would you like to leave your name and number?
Okay. No, thank you.
Okay.
Bye. See you when I see you. Goodbye.
Oh, that's cold.
So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would feed a starving baby. I am calling First Baptist Church of Maryville, and it's in Maryville, Tennessee. And on its About Me, it says that it's a vibrant community of worship and fellowship offering a variety of ministries for all ages, from kids to college students to adults. The church aims to serve its members and the surrounding community through outreach programs and events. So let's see if they would feed a starving baby.
Hello?
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if y'all could help at all. I have a 2-month-old baby and I ran out of formula, so I was wanting to see if y'all could help with formula at all.
Just a moment. Let me transfer you to Nick.
Okay.
Hello, this is Nick. How can I help you?
Hi, I have a 2-month-old baby and I ran out of formula last night. I was wanting to see if there's any way y'all could donate or get me formula for her.
You said she's 2 months old?
Yes.
Have you talked to Pregnancy Resource Center?
No, I have not.
If you will start there, they'll be able to point you in a lot of directions where you can get formula.
Well, my boyfriend called them yesterday and they didn't have any.
And they didn't point you in any other direction? They're usually really good about that.
No, they just told me to contact local churches to see if anybody could help.
I don't really have any resources to do that right now. The account where I have to give to community members is gone. It's zero.
I'm not in a position where I can help you because the way that my bank account is set up. The thing is, I got a checking in the savings, but all my money is in the savings.
Let me point you to Helen. Have you talked to Helen Ross McNabb?
The who?
Helen Ross McNabb. It's a community resource here in town. They might be able to help you out.
And I'm about to call the Fourth Presbyterian Church in Chicago, Illinois.
Good morning, Fourth Church. Guadetta speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, I was wanting to see if y'all could help get baby formula by any chance. I have a 2-month-old, and we ran out of formula last night, so she's been going all night and all day without anything to eat. And I've been...
Hold on. Unfortunately, our social services is closed today. They really don't do things for children, but so you should probably call Catholic Charities. They are open today, and they might be able to help you, but we don't have formula or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Bye. We don't even deal with kids. Good luck. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would be willing to help feed a starving baby. So I had a lot of requests wanting me to call a mega church. So I'm actually calling Lakewood International Center in Houston, Texas. And then I also had a recommendation to play a crying baby in the background. So you will be hearing that. It is not real, okay? It is just to make it seem more realistic. And we're going to try it out and see if it changes the way they might want to help. I keep making this baby worse, and they still just, nobody really wants to help. So anyways, but let's go ahead and call and see if I can get somebody to feed this baby.
Thank you for calling Lakewood Church. Your call is very important to us, and we will be glad to assist you momentarily. Morning, thank you for calling Lakewood Church. This is Ashley. How can I help you?
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if y'all could help with formula at all. I have a 2-month-old baby, and we ran out last night, so she's been going all day long without food. Is there any way y'all could help with formula?
We do have a benevolence ministry. I can take down your information and put in a request for you.
Okay. How long would that take?
We really don't have an estimated time just because we do receive a lot of requests here. Each applicant is different. It could take a couple of days. It could take a couple of weeks. We really just don't have a time frame there.
Okay, you said it would take a couple of days to weeks?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, if approved. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
It all started with a TikTok experiment and a simple yes. Now, a Somerset church is going viral for their pastor's willingness to lend a helping hand. Evening Edition's Annie Brown explains.
I am calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a hungry baby.
It all started with a phone call from TikToker Nicole Monroe.
So now I'm calling Heritage Hope Church of God in Somerset, Kentucky,
who began posting videos of her calls with churches across the country, posing as a mother in need of formula for her 2-month-old baby, following the pause of SNAP benefits.
I have a 2-month-old baby, and I ran out of formula last night. I was wanting to see if y'all could help with formula.
Let me see. Give me your name and number.
And while some churches didn't respond to her plea for help, one did.
We can do this. I'll just see. Tell me what it is you called in case I have to go get it, because I'm a great grandpa. I'm not used to pick up phone. Okay. What you called?
The man who answered, Heritage Hope Church of God's pastor, Johnny Dunbar, or as TikTok now knows him, Appalachian Grandpa.
It's a church's job to make sure. I said this way Sunday, nobody starves on our watch. Nobody.
The TikToks have since gone viral, with Monroe even visiting the Somerset church. But Dunbar insists it's not his own kindness that moved him to want to help.
I believe in a God that interacts with his people. I believe that God allowed me a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to say the right thing.
And defends the churches that turned Monroe away.
The people that got the bad publicity are givers. We're going to be better. I'm going to be better. We're going to be better. And see, that's going to be good. That's going to be good because we can help more people now. Because we're going to be more sensitive to the need. And now we're more sensitive how the world looks at us.
In the days following, Dunbar says the church has received countless donations coming from all across the world. Donations, Dunbar says, will go towards furthering the church's ministry, including helping those in need.
How do we get together? Baby. Who brought us together in the first place? The baby. When God had to save humanity, what did he send? Send a baby. Everybody loves a baby.
But what Dunbar says is most profound is how it all began with just two people and the courage to say yes. In Somerset, Annie Brown, Evening Edition.
Now, it's kind of serendipitous that this would pop up in the social zeitgeist at the time, mostly because a lot of us at the church had already decided months ago, really, that we were going to start doing some kind of helping out young parents type of thing. You know, some people have thrown around a phrase like moms helping moms and stuff, but really, in reality, helping out these young families that maybe are in situations that for whatever reason they can't provide for themselves and they can't provide for their kids. I think if there is anything that we should all universally agree on, it's that an infant shouldn't have to pay the price for whatever circumstances that they're born into. So with that being said, something that we are going to do over this next year and something that we are going to be renting a different space beside us that will help us facilitate this and all that, is we are going to start this kind of assistance type ministry for these young families. Because after all, if we can't help for the least of these small infant children, we can't help out for these little toddlers who have no understanding of socioeconomics or classes or anything like that. If we can't have compassion on them, then how can we claim that we have even an ounce of the love of our Savior in us? That is something that we should be burdened by. It's something we should be drawn by. So as soon as this video is over, I have an assignment for you. What I would like for you to do is I would like for you to discuss amongst yourselves how you can put up or shut up. What is it that we can do coming together as the body of Christ to be able to provide for these different families? What does this look like? And if it's something that you would like to get more involved with from just say putting this together, because we really haven't formulated it. We don't have committees and stuff where we put these things together. If you want to be more involved, then reach out and let me know, because this is something that we want to do for this community, not because it's going to look good for the Well Community Church and not because it's going to look good for a pastor, a team, or anything like that. We want to do this because we want to love people in our community. We want people to know that we have Christ because of the love that we share. And that should be our passion, and that should be our only motivation. So if you want to be a part of this, then please let me know. And regardless of whether you want to be actively or anything, discuss amongst yourselves, how can we be more proactive in sharing the love of Christ with the community around us? That's our lesson that we have for today. I hope you're able to get something out of it. Until we can meet again, God bless.